This is CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Hello there. We're down to the final 48 hours of our fall membership campaign. And if you haven't joined CityCast Madison Neighbors yet, now's the time. I want to thank those of you who heard the call to help CityCast Madison meet our lofty goal. Your names really started rolling in when we said we need some help. Huge thanks to you, Jacqueline S., Jessie Z., Liz, Mary E. L., Amy P.H., Carol C., Bobby F., Rosemary J., and Cynthia P. for becoming a neighbor. Thank you so much. Y'all, I've got more thank yous to give because you heard the call, but we still need more neighbors to sign up. But we need 60 more new neighbors by the end of this week, aka tomorrow, to meet our goal. Every day, we bring thousands of you this podcast and our newsletter totally free because we believe in local journalism that keeps you informed, engaged, curious, and excited about our city. But to keep it that way, we need more neighbors to step up and support us. If CityCast has helped you be a better neighbor by making you the most informed member of your friend group, giving you smart anecdotes and newsy tidbits to share at your work meetings, or fun insider details on new local restaurants and bars to share at dinner parties, please pay it forward. Become a CityCast Madison neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. If this show's helped you get out into the community and try new foods and fare, join as a neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. More than the pride of being a bona fide supporter of CityCast Madison, you'll also get great perks like ad-free listening, invites to member-exclusive events, and a members-only weekly events email. Plus, we'll send you our brand new Neighbors Make Madison tote bag. You've voted CityCast Madison the best local podcast in our city for the past 3 years, and the value you've placed in this show is not taken for granted. I know you appreciate this work, and because of that, you've helped make CityCast Madison a staple in the Madison media scene. Help us stay here. Transparently, we're still building the plane. We've achieved successes and need to make more money to keep this operation going. So if you're not a neighbor yet, don't wait. Join now at membership.citycast.fm. Today, Madison's newer craft cocktail bar, Public Parking, is about to hit a milestone. They're turning 1, and they're going to celebrate in style. The local East Johnson Street bar has quickly gained a loyal following, and for good reason. And I'm going to get into what's behind the success now with Public Parking co-owner, my old friend, J.R. Mokanu. Hi, J.R.
Hi, Bianca. How's it going?
It's going well. This is a real treat. I've been looking forward to having you on the show and talking with you. You're a great old friend, so thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'm glad to finally connect like this. It's been a minute, but now I'm not so busy. I actually have some time.
Yeah, we tried to get you on in the beginning, but there was truly so much to be done. And we're going to talk about that, like the work of starting a bar. But for folks who haven't been to Public Parking, let's just set the scene. How would you describe your new spot on East Johnson?
It's kind of like a place for everybody. It's like you can come in and get a fancy cocktail, or you can, chill out and have a beer and a shot, or good glass of wine. And it's not like one style of bar. It's meant to encompass everything, kind of like come as you are, drink whatever you want, let's hang out. That's, I guess, the best way to put it.
A place for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that has something to do with the name, right? Public Parking. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, that was kind of the idea behind it. To be honest, we went through I want to say 400 different names. It's so hard choosing a name. And honestly, we were just kind of sitting on the patio of Maduro one night. And I was with a few other bar owners in the neighborhood. And we were just talking about our bar names. And I was like, guys, I really don't want to talk about this anymore. And there was a public parking sign across the street. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to steal that sign. I'm going to put it in front of my door, and I'm going to call it Public Parking. And everyone kind of loved it, and it just stuck. That's honestly the truth. That's how it happened.
I was a little bit out of exhaustion, okay. I know exactly. There's that public parking structure right across from Maduro there.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you just briefly talk about the space itself? Because I think it's special where there is this range. The last Super Bowl, I was able to run over and watch the Kendrick Lamar performance with you
Yeah.
guys. But like there's really like lots of different vibes.
You have your little lounge area, and then obviously when you walk in, it's that big bar. I want people to feel like they're at a bar, but also like I used like all the wood and the green and browns and reds just to make people feel like comfortable. Because again, this is Wisconsin, and us Wisconsinites love to feel comfortable in a bar. It's not too flashy. That's why I used all the wood. Kind of makes you feel like you're at a lodge, as we all grew up with.
Well, JR, you're a bar and restaurant scene industry veteran. Starting right here in Madison, you and I worked together way back when at Merchant Downtown, back in the early 2010s, where you were the bar manager and you were teaching folks how to make a cocktail, before it was cool. And that really became a spot to be. And you've had many adventures, successful ventures. You went out to Austin, Texas, expand your skills and led successful bar programs there. Like, why come back to Madison and open a bar?
Well, it was kind of two things, I guess. I got a little homesick, and my mom is here, and she's getting a little older, so she was like, "Can you just like come back home?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna come back home, come back to Wisconsin. I kind of miss it," and just decided to open a bar and kind of like plant my roots here again. Which, don't get me wrong, I love Texas. It was a fun time, but something about coming home feels right.
I'm with you. I came home to be closer to family. It's quite the pull. And your mom's pretty legendary.
Yeah, she's something else.
Yes, we love her. So, I know you're a humble person, JR, I'm putting you on this spot, but public parking, saying that y'all have made a splash in your first year feels like kind of underselling it. You've really received a number of recognitions already. Can you share what some of those are that you've gotten just in your first year?
We got a few like best new bars in the country. The Bon Appetit magazine named us one of the best new bars. The Punch magazine named us one of the best new bars. Imbibe did the same thing. We won the Bitter Cube Milwaukee versus Madison bartending competition thing. It's not me. It's my staff where they're. Like, I could not have done any of this without like Lucas and like, the Jens and my whole staff. I'm not going to name off everybody right now.
Erica,
and all that. Without their hard work, like none of this would have happened. So kudos to them, honestly, because like I feel bad sometimes. I make them work a little too much. They're killing it though. And I couldn't be happier.
well, it is quite a feat to open a bar and like receive the sort of success that you all have. So, there's the fun to it. And there is a lot of effort that goes into getting the details right. Like those publications you mentioned, that event with Bittercube, they're major for your industry. Like those are the, top folks you want to be recognized by. I remember when you were launching, like how much thought you put into who was going to be there. Just want to double tap just how great your staff is, all the people that you mentioned and the experiences with them. And note on a little bit like the effort and what went into opening the bar, because I think from an outside perspective, your work as bartenders, it seems all fun, but we know that the service industry is serious work. Like it's a lot of long hours, human interaction, a lot of unknowns, not to mention actually launching a bar. What did it take to take this off the ground and get to the success? Obviously a good team, you said.
Yeah, that and like a lot of rich people's money.
Facts.
That's the thing. It's like, building a spot is not cheap and it's a lot of hours. So like why I'm so like, proud of this team right now is like before we even opened, right? Me and Jack probably spent almost a whole year designing and figuring out this concept. My partner, Jack.
Yep, right.
Yep. So like before we even opened our doors, we were working on it for a whole year, and then once you're actually in the door, it gets even crazier because now you're like figuring out systems and like, okay, where do we put XYZ? Where do we put this? How is this going to be the most efficient? How is this going to look the most aesthetic? How is prep work going to look like, especially when we make our own like vermouths and bitters and cordials and It's like we have a team before we even open the doors at 4 p.m. We have a team in at 10 in the morning every day, just creating and batching and cooking to get ready for service for the night. It's a labor of love. It's a lot of work, sure, but like we all love doing it.
Totally. Well, I know you're not going to talk on yourself, so I'm going to talk on you. A personal anecdote, you were talking about Maduro earlier. A previous bartender from there who has also worked at Papavro, Kevin Trottier, has an anecdote about you. Like back when you were 19, 20 years old, coming to Papavro, the restaurant downtown, the fantastic restaurant, like reading a huge thick book full of cocktail recipes and, really taking the craft seriously and like because you were interested in it, but not in an annoying way, but like actually being curious and having not only the interest in taking it seriously, but like the aptitude to know what the difference is between something being a good cocktail, a great cocktail, and excellent, and like really taking the time to develop that palate. So it's just really exciting, speaking for myself and so many that you came back and are putting your skills to work and building something in Madison. It's something lovely to see.
I'm honestly really happy to be back home. I forgot how much I missed it, I guess, So it's good to be back in my hometown and helping out in the scene, especially the neighborhood. Like I love being next to like, the Caribou and Robin Room and like we're all just doing things together. And I don't know. I just love being back.
Let's talk about the drinks. Like, let's talk about the bar and the drinks because that's really, people are talking about your cocktails. You guys do some pretty inventive stuff on the menu. Who's coming up with the craft cocktail list?
So in the beginning, it was just me and Lucas, just so with our new team that we can start training them to, do these cocktails. But now, especially with our new menu coming out in November, a lot of our veteran bartenders now, I guess we can call them that since it's been a year, they're coming out with their own drinks like, Gen M and Gen D. They have cocktails coming out. Erica has 2 cocktails. Yeah, so like now it's just becoming the whole team is going to be involved in the menu. So it's not just like 1 or 2 of us. And my favorite part is like what, like the names that people come up with, which is like kind of the funniest thing about our menu.
Yeah. Can you share a couple? Because it's one of my favorite parts too.
Yeah, I mean, like, like Gen M has the "my grandma hates my neck" tattoo, and she has a neck tattoo, and it's like so on point. And it's like this strawberry rhubarb shrub with Lestau brandy and Lost Irish whiskey and lemon juice and orange juice and balsamic, and it's like this really fall centric like sour cocktail, and it's served with the cutest little pie next to it.
Yeah.
We reduce the strawberry rhubarb balsamic shrub into a pie filling and put in a coconut wafer and coconut cream on top. And she came up with that, and she was a dive bartender a year ago. Like she's like doing it now, and it's just exciting to see that happen.
Yeah. And also that little, like the little extra, like that's something, you won't probably get in most places where you're getting a cocktail and some, this cute little pie thing.
Oh, yeah. Wait till next month when you see her next drink. Oh my God. She's pretty much serving a cocktail with a whole dish next to it.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is really exciting.
Yeah, you'll have to come in.
Popping back in to remind you, we're in the final days of our fall membership campaign. That's right, the last 48 hours. If you feel like you've been hearing about this a lot, that's correct. We are proud to be member supported and want to shout out our neighbors membership program from the rooftops. Lean in. If you've been on the fence about joining, this is for you. I hope you'll come on board in these last couple of days at membership.citycast.fm. We've still got a ways to go for meeting our final goal, and we need to get there by EOD Friday, end of day Friday. We need 60 more people to sign up as neighbors. I told you on yesterday's podcast, we're behind on that goal. That said, many of you heard that reality and like heroes stepped up. So a huge thank you goes to Alex V, you star, Marlene P, Catherine S., Jonathan D., Mary A., Sean M., and Grant S. And I've got more thank yous to share, but we do need more of you to sign up as a neighbor. So when you do, you'll get a tote bag. It's a sturdy, mignon tote bag, aka cute in French, perfect for the farmer's market, and it says Neighbors Make Madison. Just a little cheeky reminder that when neighbors show up and get involved, our city comes to life and thrives. And this show is designed to help you do just that, thrive in Madison. You all named CityCast Madison the best local podcast these past 3 years. And what that says is you like what you're hearing. And we want to keep this podcast and our newsletter sustainable for years to come. Let's make this CityCast Madison an institution that you can depend on. But we're not there yet. Help us keep the lights on. Become a CityCast Madison neighbor for $10 a month or $100 a year by going to membership.citycast.fm. That's membership.citycast.fm. Are you ready to vogue? Tickets are available now for St. Vinny's On the Runway, St. Vinny's Thrift Store's first ever fashion show. I can barely contain my excitement. The date is Wednesday, October 15th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the beautiful Madison Youth Arts Center. The show is a benefit to raise funds for St. Vinny's charitable programs like their food pantry, pharmacy, and housing support. This show is also celebrating 100 years of impact for Vinny's, as 2025 is St. Vinny's centennial. At On the Runway, there will be a pop-up shop, historical exhibit viewing, and a style show. Tickets are $25, but don't wait because there's only a limited supply. And you might know the MC, Krista Hatcher, afternoon host at Z104 Madison, and John Cobb, Associate Director of Retail Operations at the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, Madison. So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets today. Visit svdpmadison.org/event/Saint-Vinny's-on-the-runway.
Hey, it's Rob Thomas here, the newsletter editor for CityCast Madison. At CityCast Madison, our mission is simple. We strive to make our listeners more engaged neighbors because we believe that better neighbors make better cities. Every day we bring you the local stories, conversations, and tips that help you feel more connected to Madison and to the people and places that make it feel like home. When you become a CityCast Madison neighbor, you're investing in that mission. Your support allows us to keep covering the local issues that matter most to our communities and highlight the stories that make this city shine. Plus, CityCast Madison neighbors get great benefits, like ad-free podcast episodes, a weekly email rounding up a full week's worth of curated local events, invitations to members-only special events, and more. Sign up today for $10 a month or $100 a year at membership.citycast.fm. Join the neighborhood. That's membership.citycast.fm.
Talking about the menu, like how often does the menu change, and do you have a favorite drink at the moment?
So the menu changes about like 9 times a year because we do pop-ups all the time. Like, for example, like in October 13th, we're doing the Black Lagoon pop-up, which is company out of LA right now. They're going to turn the whole bar into like a spooky Halloween pop-up cocktail bar. So we'll change the menu for that. And then November we'll change to our wintry menu. And then December we change to our Great British Bake Off menu. And then January is our health menu and blah, 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 blah. It changes 9 times a year.
Yeah, that's a fair number of times to change, and also indicative of sort of the fun that you're having and allowing and the playfulness that you'll have in the space. Like, I'm pretty sure I had an opportunity to be there for the Great British Bake Off menu, and you guys kind of decorate accordingly. And so a lot of fun, you know, in addition to the drinks, y'all's glassware is kind of a riot in and of itself. So you have like the classic drinks and tumblers and martini glasses, but also serve drinks in teacups and glass-shaped butts and a moose face. Like, it's diverse.
Yeah, I think we have now 22 like unique glasses.
Wow. Where does the inspiration come from?
It's honestly just like from like either movies or music or like just like to be honest, I feel like I'm kind of like stealing ideas from other people because I just kind of like I'll see something cool in a movie or something like cool on like Instagram or TikTok, whatever. I'm like, oh shit, that would be perfect for here.
A good artist steals.
Yeah, it's like who's original these days anymore, anyways, right?
Yeah, like finding inspiration where it strikes and really stepping into it. I am curious about the menu itself. Like, are there principles that you generally have for making a good, well-rounded cocktail list?
Whenever we start rewriting a menu, we always definitely make sure that there's at least like, one vodka drink, couple gin drinks, couple rum drinks, couple tequila, et cetera, to make sure we have like the gamut of all the base spirits. And that's how we actually write our menu. So we're not like just a fully, only whiskey cocktails or gin cocktails. It's like we have like every base spirit covered. Because some people don't like tequila. Some people don't like bourbon. Some people love gin.
Variety of life, people are going to want different things and also like having these fun experiences. Do you think about the craft cocktails that you make like almost as if they're a part of the culinary scene? Because I feel like the level of craft and the ingredients that are being used like really feels like another level.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, we do make everything in house, so we do have a prep kitchen and we're actually cooking in the kitchen. So we don't just like get to show up on like a bar shift and everything's already done. It's like we have to, make everything.
I bring it up in part because we mentioned his name earlier, but your partner, Jack Yip, he's the owner of Red Sushi, Jackknife Sushi, and co-owner of Public Parking with you. And I wanted to bring him into the picture a little bit as well. Like, how did that collaboration come? And do you see any sort of like influences there and in terms of, your offerings?
How that came to be was he was a regular at Merchant back when we both worked there, and
Yeah.
remember when Red Sushi was on the King Street?
Yeah, so convenient.
So and I was a regular there, and then when I came back, he kind of was like, "Do you want to open up a bar?" And the way it works with him and I now, it's like we just because he's a food nerd and I'm a drink nerd, and it's just like we kind of just like partner up and talk about like different like flavor pairings and like it's like let's see what happens here. Is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? Let's try it. And it's fun. I love Jack.
And you guys serve sushi. You serve a few food items, right?
Yeah. We serve Jackknife every day until we run out.
Yeah, so you can get a little bit of eats on. We mentioned earlier you were written up in Bon Appetit earlier this year as one of the 9 best new bars in the country. Did you expect that sort of recognition right out of the gate in your first year? And what does that sort of thing do for a bar? Does it allow you to take bigger risks? How are you thinking about being recognized?
Well, it's a little scary and a little awesome at the same time, because now I feel like there's everyone's like kind of looking at us now, so like we really got to be on our fucking game. Use my French there, but I was not expecting it at all. I was not expecting Punch. I was not expecting Bon Appetit. Not expecting Imbibe, especially like we're not even a big city. That was the craziest part about it. Like I don't even know how these people like heard about us. Like we're in Madison, and like we're a smaller town. We're not Chicago. We're not LA. We're not New York, And sometimes I feel like these smaller towns get overlooked. So it felt really great that they came out and saw us. Don't know who told them about us. I wish they would have gave me a heads up. They would literally send me an email about a month before the article came out. They're like, hey, we stopped in a few weeks ago and we're writing this article. We want some details. And they were like, don't say anything. Otherwise, we'll drop you. And I was like, okay. And then the article would just come out. And then I was like, well, here we go. So we would all wait like a month before we could say anything to anybody. But we never knew who these people were. Like none of us like know who was the person that we served that actually wrote up the article. Like they don't announce themselves. They just kind of show up, I guess.
That's kind of wild. So it could be anyone.
It could be anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you have had that kind of outside experience working a high caliber bar in Austin, a little bit of a bigger city. You've been, I know you've done pop-ups in New York City. You've done lots of different work in different bars. I'm interested in your insider and outsider take of when it comes to Madison's cocktail scene or bar scene. Like, what do you see that you're like, wow, Madison's getting this right? And what things do you think maybe we could use more of or less of, for that matter?
The thing is, like, Madison is blowing up right now, just like, Austin 12 years ago, like Nashville, even like Boise, Idaho right now is blowing up. Like these smaller markets are becoming like real like cities. So with that comes a lot of talent and, people who are happy to do the work for something unique. So like Madison has an amazing food scene. Like, Fairchild, are you kidding me? That's amazing. Ahan, amazing. Mintmark's great. I'm so sad to see Pig and a Fur Coat go, but that was an institution. The list goes on. There's a lot of amazing places in this city. And like, I guess when you said if there's something I want to see more of is like good wine bars. Like I love like Table Wine and Square Wine Company, but I feel like people need to drink more wine. I love wine.
Yeah, I know there's a new one that opened recently over off of Regent Street. It's Glue Glue, which is, that kind of sounds like glug glug. It's onomatopoeia in French. And I know they're doing like jazz shows over there and trying to step it up in that space. So just want to shout them out. MJ's the owner. She's very lovely, but I'm right there with you. I love wine and I'd love to see some variation there.
When we first opened up, we did a very extensive by the bottle wine list, which I thought we would have served more of. And then we had to pivot because like, honestly, our sales are like 94% is cocktails off the menu. And I was not expecting that. Usually you get kind of a variation of like, some cocktails and like a bigger beer and some wine thing. I think that was the most surprising is we didn't sell much wine. Again, I want to go back to wine. I just love wine.
Yeah, I understand why that would be surprising. And I think that your space really has, like you said, it's there for everyone, but there is a lot of style and kind of some swank. I said there's some swanky places to sit and like have a date night and, meet up with your girls and have wine. So that is an interesting thing that you're experiencing around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a huge congratulations on running this bar for the past year. It's exciting to see the success. It's fun to be able to enjoy it. And I understand that this Sunday, you're celebrating Public Parking's first birthday. What should folks expect from the birthday party?
So we're going to have free champagne at the door for everybody. We got 2 drag show performances. We're going to have a little section in the corner in the PDR where we're going to be playing dice for free swag. So like, Tomerdu sweaters or like Illegal hats or, Elijah Craig hats. Or we got socks. We got so many like parting gifts.
Swag galore.
It's swag galore. It's going to be hilarious. And we're going to be playing threes and it's going to be just fun.
And aside from just being a birthday party, the event is a fundraiser for the Mothership, a bar in Milwaukee that was severely damaged by the major flooding this summer. What's your connection to the Mothership?
So when we first started, building this bar, we wanted to get a little hype out. And there were 3 bars that really like in the Midwest that came out for us and like helped us out. And it was one is, of course, Mothership. Another one's Lemon in Chicago, and the other one's Sportsman's Club in Chicago. So we did pop-ups there. And then when we heard our friends at Mothership, I don't know if you saw the pictures, but like it was just destroyed. And, they helped us out, and there was like no way we could not help them out. So we're happy to donate all the money on our birthday to just make sure they can get back and running because I love that bar. Have you been to Mothership?
I feel like I have, but it was a long time ago. So sometimes, nights get blurry.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a Mothership, it gets blurry.
They've got disco balls.
Yeah, it needs to come back. That's why we're raising money for them. They're good people.
That's so important, and it's clearly a part of the ethos of public parking, as we've been discussing, to be community connected. So thank you. And before we let you go, JR, what are your birthday wishes for public parking? Before you blow out the candles and make a wish, like, what do you hope happens in the second year of business and fun?
I would say just make sure we're still open. Yeah, that's it. That's all I want.
Well, JR, it was super appreciate you making the time. Love that public parking is turning one, and sure you will continue to be successful. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
That's JR Mokanu, co-owner of Public Parking Bar on East Johnson. If you want to learn more about their one-year birthday party, head to our show notes for a link. And that's all for today, here on CityCast Madison. I'm your host, Bianca Martin. Don't forget, we're in the last 48 hours of our membership campaign. You can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Madison neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our current and ongoing supporting neighbors. Thank you. We see you. And I've got even more new neighbors to thank who joined just this week. Thank you to Kelsey F., Elizabeth B., former guests on the show, Emily M., Dina K., Jane H., Allison B., and Sarah D. Welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you for supporting us. And remember, if you are not a neighbor yet, when you become a neighbor today, you will get this campaign's exclusive sturdy Neighbors Make Madison tote bag. Plus, you'll get in on all the other member perks like ad-free listing and exclusive member events. Don't wait, help us meet our goals at membership.citycast.fm. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed today's show, why not share this episode with someone who likes to party and in a wonderful neighborhood? All right, we'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until then, take good care and have fun.